All right, we'll get started. That's just going around. Minutes. Motion to accept the public and non-public minutes of September 15th. I'll make that motion. Second. Any discussion? All those in favor? Aye. Any opposed? So moved. I need a motion to accept the public minutes of September 27th. I'll make that motion. Any discussion? All those in favor? Aye. Any opposed? So moved. Citizens' comments. Don't seem to have any in-house. Anybody online have any comments? Would you just state your name when you come on for the record also? Thank you. Alex, do you have any comments?
Yeah, hi, this is Alex too. So yeah, I don't have any comments at this time.
Thank you. Donna, do you have any comments?
Hi, Donna Foster. No comments at this time. Thank you.
Thank you. And iPhone, do you have any comments? All right, moving on. Student board member items. Mr. Garcia.
Just starting. All right, so I've seen vaping become more of an issue. They're getting them for free and reselling for a cheaper price to gain money and also increase the popularity of the vaping. So I've seen a lot of that happen. All right, next, we've been allowed mobile devices for music. It is working fairly well. There are a few violations, but overall it's pretty good. Yeah, it's a little distracting, so probably watching them a little more on that, but that's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you. So this is from you, this motion here.
Yeah, they're just simple revision.
I have a question if it's okay. So
Yes.
the vaping where they're selling it, are they selling it at school? Or-
Yes, they arrange times and days.
So that should fall under our no
Yeah.
selling of drugs.
Yep.
and
Oh,
whatnot
yeah.
policy. Okay, good.
That definitely, does.
Absolutely.
Good. All right, that's all I had. I just wanted clarification
Yeah.
on that. Yeah.
All right, thank you. Superintendent's report.
Great, thanks so much. Great to see everybody. I wanted to share that Karen Thompson is away on a professional learning trip with the Aurora Institute, which is the leading nonprofit working within competency-based education. And so she'll be bringing back a whole bunch of learning that she has going on out at that conference. So she's not with us tonight. You do have her report. My report is fairly broad. It had some items on there that we had discussed and accomplished, including Mr. Bramante's presentation to us. There was a 1 hour meeting today that I was not able to attend. After all, we had some other fish to fry later in the afternoon. So the update will be now presented to the updated document will be presented to the State Board of Education, where it's still within the rulemaking process. My suspicion is that, and it is a suspicion, is that the State Board of Ed is going to want to mold that into something a little bit different than what it was originally designed to be. However, all of the input that's been provided throughout over 30 school district presentations since last March was reflective in the document. I do have a copy of the document. From there, it will go to GELCAR and from Joint Legislation Committee on Rules. It will then go back to state board, which will then become our new minimum academic standards. So we should see that probably by winter, I suspect, because it's I believe it's a 90-day process for the rulemaking at the state level. A lot of good things in there, a lot of things that we use to our advantage. We see that a number of our students are benefiting, particularly from areas under competency-based learning, extended learning opportunities, and Learn Everywhere. We want to see if there's some more opportunities out here for students to participate in a Learn Everywhere program that provides a rigorous learning experience off-site, but carrying credit. A little bit different from an ELO because it's not us facilitating it so much as the student is advocating with a program that's been vetted by the State Board of Ed, not by us. A couple of other items. We've been sending out information on the New Hampshire School Funding Fairness Project presentation, which will be October 18th at 6 o'clock at the town hall. We have invited friends from Monadnock and Winchester. They'll be sharing it with their staff members, their board members. They'll be attending. It's gone out on our social media. We sent I think you should have received the flyer for Community Connections. If
Yeah.
not, you will.
I saw you did, I did.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're going to want to, we're going to send that out again. We've asked our two schools to send it out to staff and their families a second time before next Wednesday. We think it'll drum up some pretty decent interest in hearing more about how state property tax and school funding work together and where it doesn't work together. And I think that's the part people are going to want to drill down on. So the right people will be there presenting, be able to answer some questions that we may not have in the past, or we did answer and they just need to hear it from someone else who's an objective third party. And that's what we wanted to provide. Happy to say we have offered and she has accepted the position of SAU 92 office assistant to Miriam Tallman. So we welcome Miriam to the staff. She'll be, we believe, working with us Monday through Thursday, 9 to 1:30. She'll be coming in soon for onboarding. Thank you to Maria and Jane and Gretchen in our business office and Maria in the superintendent's office for conducting that search. I had the pleasure of meeting with her for a final interview. She's very, she's delightful. She has a lot of experience. She's going to be very helpful to us. She is a resident. She is a parent. So I think there are a lot of vested interests in her wanting to help us move our work together. I know the person to my right will be very delighted to have some additional assistance,
Right.
as will Maria and Gretchen when it comes to HR work that we have going on. So it's I'm so happy that we were able to find a suitable replacement for Shirley's position and move forward. So thank you to the board for that. You do have notes from our tuition exploratory committee meeting that we had. We will be hoping this evening the board will approve moving forward with a conversation with another school board. We'd like to set that date up. We have that date scheduled for the 26th, tentatively upon our board's approval. We'd like to have that meeting here at 5 p.m. because we'd like to give the opportunity to tour the school, to look at the campus, and to have an open and frank discussion about what that might look like in general terms. I informed the superintendent that we will have some action tonight from the board on whether or not to move forward, and I'll be back in touch with her, but we have set that tentatively up for the 26th.
You want to discuss that right now?
Well,
Just get it.
if we could, rather than wait till later, I think that would be helpful. Yes, please. So we would be, based on the information that was presented during exploratory, we're pretty confident in the numbers that we have in terms of enrollment and the increase in revenue without needing to add staff for approximately 2 years. So for the next 2 years, we'd like to explore with Winchester what that looks like for them. I get some firsthand discussion regarding their tuition contract with Keene because they have an understanding that students could begin with us immediately in September. And so we would look for some action for us to move forward at this time.
So I have the 26th available. I did ask Kayla and she told me she was going to be able to make the meeting if she was available that day. And she is, so I know two are okay with that day.
Did you get more than one date? Cause I have something I would hate to have to reschedule. With the retreat, that date wasn't ran by any of us, so I had a COSPA thing I had to back out of that day, so I do have something on the 26th that I can not go to. But cause I really want to be here for the Winchester thing, 'cause I have a couple questions that I don't want to ask until, we have more information and both of us together, so I don't want to miss it. Plus Gina and I have been met with Winchester a couple of times over the years on the different boards, so I don't want to miss it this time, so, I will just, if it works for everybody else, I'll just, change and not go to this thing.
Tell me the date again.
26th.
26th, Thursday, not Wednesday. Yeah.
Correct, Thursday.
Yeah, so I'll just can what I'm doing.
I'm
for the
sorry.
second half.
We didn't want to run the date and get it ahead of anybody until we had an opportunity with the full board to hear it. And so that's why we didn't commit to the date.
No, that's good.
'Cause, yeah.
Yeah. No,
But we can commit to the date if the board wants to approve us moving forward with that. I'm sensing some consensus that that would be the case.
Yeah, I don't know about Kendra, but.
yeah, I don't want to miss it. Like I said, with the retreat, the date was set. It
Yes.
wasn't communicated like, hey, is this okay? So I had to miss a constant thing for that, because I must want to go to that. So, but sis, I don't want to miss this, so I will be there. You said 5 p.m.?
5 p.m.
Okay.
and we'll be having it here. Opportunity to take a tour of the middle high school and then have some open conversation. My recommendation is it would be in a public setting because there's no reason, there's no exemption
Absolutely.
under 91A for us to have it in non-public session.
Previous meetings with them were in public.
Good to know. So wonderful. And then lastly, I just wanted to share that my work with the College Board continues. As chair of the New England Regional Assembly, I had meetings last week down in Reston, Virginia for a few days. One of the things that we're talking about at the regional office is, and it's going to actually spread across the other 4 regional offices, so College Board National, is turning out research that's showing that students who take just one AP course in their high school career, regardless of their success rate and regardless of their participation on the AP exam, do over 40% better than those students who have no AP coursework in their background whatsoever. And the whole reason is because of the experience students are getting in a college level course. So students who feel they're college bound or are thinking about being college bound, I think it's something that we may want to begin to focus a bit more on and be a little bit more proactive with, so that students who are thinking, yes, I think I do want to go to college, or even if they're just thinking, I don't know if I want to go to college, maybe someday, having that safe and secure opportunity at the high school level where it's already built in with your teachers, people you know, and you're working through an AP curriculum, whether it be the 3 right now that are being recognized as those that just about all students can participate in, is AP computer principles, computer science principles, it's predominantly math. AP seminar, which is equivalent to English 10. And of course, I'm going to forget the 3rd one, but I'll let you know which one it is when I have that opportunity. I forget what the 3rd one is. But the PSAT that we have students participating in will give, and all of our sophomores will be doing that, are going to be giving us a bit of a metric to tell us where students will perform most strongly in. So Addison, when he takes the PSAT, scores will come back and we'll look at all of the different courses that he could be successful in, and the PSAT will tell us to a percentage that we set the degree to which he'll pass that course or earn a D or better. And so that gives us the opportunity then to recruit him into, hey, have you considered taking this course? And so building some course enrollment for some AP courses that teachers would then work with to provide the experience for students. And so that's something that I've recommended to Mr. Barth, and he's been, and he agreed, and that's why we have all of our sophomores looking at the PSAT. We'll then put together a small function with all of our students who are sophomores who want to move forward into an AP course. We'll bring them together. We'll do a little recruiting for some courses. We can build some courses around that. And so that's some of the work that I've been doing with the College Board. I'm back down in New York City with them for 4 days at the end of the month. There'll be a lot more learning around the advanced placement program. I'd like to design an AP program for Hinsdale to review. And as we move forward into the next year, I'd like that to be part of the strategic planning on what we're looking at in terms of coursework for all students who may or may not be college bound, that also provide the college and career ready skills that they need, and have that just be part of the planning document. So that's a lot of the work that we as a College Board, and this is made up of practitioners from around New England, and we met with the middle states, and so you can think Middle Atlantic from Virginia up through Pennsylvania, and then so that would conclude my report.
Any questions for Dr. Ryan? No, thank you.
My pleasure.
Mrs. Wilson.
Yes, you saw by my report, I'm still awaiting the National School Lunch Program applications to be approved. It's been way over a month now. Hopefully that'll be sometime soon. I've already called and asked her, so. The OPEB report, which is a report that the auditors need, actually takes up a big part of your financial statements of your audits, which are post-employee benefits that we have to work on. Completed that report last week. They have already turned around their draft for me, except that I'm doing the DOE 25 right now, so I just haven't read the draft, but I couldn't believe they turned it around that quick. Very happy. So that will be done and ready well ahead of time for the auditors when they return in November. DOE 25, MS 25, MS 24. I'm working through. I was doing pretty well till I kind of hit a little snag yesterday, but that's okay. We keep going. The big question I think everybody has, and I'm going to put it out as an estimate only. I believe the amount that would be being returned as a fund balance to the taxpayers will be around 600,000. So all the posting I've been doing back and forth, it's still, that number still seems to be standing pretty firm. I'm hoping to get those completed. I'd really like it by the end of next week if I can. A good part of it's done. I'm just trying to chase down the parts that it's taking me a little while because I can isolate what happened. I just don't know why or what I need to do to fix it. So I'm working on it. So getting through that. Any questions? I did provide you with budget to date, which is through today. Okay.
Thank you.
So will that be in our packets going forward?
It will. I did not
Okay.
realize
No,
you
that's-
needed it.
Yeah.
Do you want it budget to date or do you just want like a month at a time or how do you want to
I
see
think
that?
It's usually
Usually
budget
budget
today.
today.
Perfect.
Yeah.
I can do that. Yep,
Thank you.
no problem. It's gonna kick me sometimes, you know.
Yeah, it's funny because I said I would email you and I put it on a reminder in my calendar for tomorrow. Instead of last Thursday.
Yeah, I'll put a note
Uh-huh.
to make sure I do that one.
Thank you, Jean.
Mhm.
Director of First Parties Learning. She's at the, right?
Yes.
Have her report.
And she'll have a full report for us when she returns, so she can report out to you on her trip.
I have one quick question about your list. Do you know when the portrait of graduate stuff, the committee and whether all that's gonna start to take?
Once she returns, yeah, we
Oh,
had
yeah.
the initial work with Carolyn Eastman, which was wonderful. It built some pretty good steam, and so people have asked the same. And once we get past her trip, we're gonna be rolling into that. So keep your eyes open for your mail. Yeah,
Well, yeah, because I'm on the board with my
and
committee. So.
there you are.
Yeah, so in addition to all the other people, public and whatnot, that will be on it, but.
Yeah, that work will begin in earnest. Right in time for budget season.
Yeah.
We good? No other questions? Principals report, Mr. Bart.
So you have my report, but I wanted to talk about a few things, and Addison brought up the vaping. So yesterday we had a woman from Teen Youth Services who presented data to the faculty about school vaping, the increase, things such as that. And she's also we've caught a few students vaping. And part of the process is to go through this vape education course. And she's starting that. And we've also gotten some interest from students that they would love to work on quitting. But they're a little bit nervous, but being in a group, and she will do that too. Trying to move to some more education of vaping, because I mean, it was an education for myself, and I think the faculty, all the chemicals that are going into those vapes that have nothing to do with tobacco or things like that. So we've already started with that. Like I said, she's met with I think 3 students total. We've got a few more on the docket for later this month. Because she's also at a Keene and Manhattan. So, but it's great to have her here. So for that piece, and then cameras have started to be put into place. And they've already been beneficial. First day kids were here. We had an incident in the hallways. And we had cameras in that hallway, the math/science high school hallway, and we were able to watch the incident occur. Which was an education for us because it would have been all secondhand. And also a person vaping. So that the detectors are working. And it's a slow process, but we have the cap, we have the bathrooms near the gymnasium, in our hallway by the cafeteria, because that was a problem area. And they're gonna just keep on moving forward with it, but I've already seen a benefit in day one.
Great. Any questions for Mr. Barr?
What did you say the course was, the person for community services? You said-
It's a course on educating about vape, the dangers of vapes.
Okay, because you
vaping.
said the name of it, I thought.
Oh, well, I said from youth service, teen youth
Community
services.
Okay.
Yeah.
Great, cool, thank you.
Anybody else? Thank you, Mr. Burr. Mr. Bocchio.
Hi, you have my report, Madam Chair, and Board, if there's anything I can elaborate on, happy to.
So is the pumpkin carving, are they gonna be then for the pumpkin festival? Like how
Yeah,
we used to?
we're gonna start rounding up some pickup trucks to we're gonna do it on Thursday night. And then round up the pickup trucks that we can for Friday to get them up there for the pumpkin fest.
That's exciting.
Yeah, they're making an effort to make it more family friendly once again.
Yeah, smaller and, yeah, family friendly, so that's gonna be cool. Awesome.
How many pumpkins are you anticipating?
I don't really know exactly. I'm meeting with Melissa Tarbox, the PTA president, tomorrow night. We're gonna iron out the details about what we can get and how many trucks we might need and go from there.
Hopefully somebody could put like Hinsdale Elementary, so we could kind of like, as we're going around, because I plan to go to it, like, be like, there's some of ours, yeah,
Yeah, we can try and find out maybe what area we may be in.
yeah, that'd be cool. Cause I remember back in the day, when it was so big and our kids would do it at the elementary, it'd be neat to kind of try and find,
Yeah.
yeah.
So I know you had the October 28th here in our list for the shred event, but it's actually this Saturday, the 14th.
Oh, is it?
Yes,
I didn't know that.
at least that's what's been posted on Facebook, so that's what I'm planning on. I've already got my box ready to go. I'm more excited about this event than I should be, probably, actually. I've been waiting since the last event that they had. I had a box
Yeah,
that I just throw stuff in, so I've been,
just one.
yeah, well,
A
it's
big
a
box.
pretty big box, actually. It's a good sized box. And then they also have, I know that I'm not sure, it's the PTSA who has the metal box out behind the elementary school right now.
I think it's Cal Ripken.
Is it?
Yeah, I think I got an email
That-
from
yeah,
Melissa Lowe.
yeah, it's usually one
Cal
of the
Ripken.
That sounds familiar.
Yeah. I just couldn't remember who was sponsoring it this time, because I know it switches sometimes.
Yeah.
But Great.
That'll be out there through October.
to the 29th, I think is what I had. In my notes. And we got the map testings that you had given us the numbers on. So just so I got it right in my head, the kindergarten class from last year is the first grade class of this year, right?
Right, so you kind of have to
So-
go down the diagonal to
Yeah.
see like comparison from year to year.
So it seems like as they go up in grade, we get more below the 35 percentile as they go. So do you have? I'm assuming there's plans in place to,
So I really feel strongly, you know, we've started implementing our new ELA core curriculum that has a lot more vertical alignment. We've drifted apart from that. I'm confident that like if we can try to make sure that our support systems in terms of our Title I staff and our special ed staff are aligning with what's going on in the core and not doing a separate sort of intervention that we'll see, because it's definitely our core instruction. When you have that amount of students who are not performing in the mid-average range, it's definitely about the core instruction. So, and our staff is working super hard implementing the new curriculum, and we meet every at least once a month as a whole staff on implementation and where the gaps are and what we need to focus on. And we have professional development from the company that we just did last Monday. That was really helpful. So hopefully that trend that you're seeing will improve.
right?
The big thing, like second grade dip, that's the first year that the students actually have to read it on their own. So in K and 1, it's a listening comprehension test. And then when you read second grade, you no longer have the headphones on and you're reading the text and then either doing vocabulary work around what's, about, or actual comprehension or inferences or whatever it may be. So that's why in second grade, it's a typical thing to see that dip because of that. But I'm concerned more about the third grade math lopsidedness, and that's kind of upside down where so many of the kids are below 30th percentile.
Right.
We're gonna have to do something in that area as well.
Do you think that's because they would have been in kindergarten, first grade, like 2020?
Yeah, I mean, that, eventually that excuse has to go away.
I know,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm just wondering, they come in it behind, you know
Yeah.
what I mean? So we're playing catch up, obviously.
So our data team, which focuses, we should have just called it the math team, I don't know. But our math team is focusing on number sense, and we're trying to provide resources to the rest of the staff in improving our number sense, our fact fluency, but also, basic things like place value and building that up. So hopefully we can continue with the core in math, but also remediate the basics that are missing.
Right. Well, thanks for all the hard work.
Thank you.
Madam Chair, one thing that we'll also do and come back in November is the A team and I are gonna pull apart our New Hampshire SAS data that we just recently had back. It was embargoed up until late last week, so we didn't have an opportunity to put a presentation and spend a lot of time with it. We'd like to be able to do that for the November meeting and walk through our statewide accountability assessment testing grades 3 through 8. Certainly map testing is more about growth, student growth. As we know, the assessment at statewide level is really more adherence to curriculum and attending curriculum. And so there can be some triangulation that's done with that. That's not what we're going to present on. We want to walk you through how we've done over the last 3 years. So we have those data, we have that charted out. We as a team just haven't had a chance to work together and pull it apart and understand it as a team and how we want to present it to you. So our hope is that we can bring it to you in November and walk you through that so you see how we're doing statewide. It's not it's not the best, not the worst. It's there are some encouraging signs that I saw, just preliminary data analysis.
Great. Thank you.
Certainly.
Any other questions from Mr. Rubio? Thank you, Mr. Rubio. Let's see. IT report. Justin.
Yep, Madam Chair, you have my report. Be happy to answer any question.
was glad to see you didn't have as many tickets this year as last year.
It's a very nice site.
Yeah. Anything for Justin? Okay, thank you. On to board business. Board draft goals, discussion. Got a meeting, we came up with some goals. This is just to finalize the list, yes?
These are the goals that the board came up with at our September 27th work session. And so that we just cleaned up all of the language. I checked with the chair to ensure that what I had written down was what she had also recorded, and we concurred. And so we've sent this out, and I believe it captures everything the board had worked on that evening.
Do we need a motion to accept it? Okay.
We would, and then we'll take it with the A team and start building the operationalize as well as my goals for you.
I just have one question, because I didn't have it in my notes, because you were typing away, so I didn't take, and I used to take very more comprehensive notes, but I'm like, and I just don't remember, so we looked at previous goals that we had tabled, those couple of goals that when we tabled, when we did the different vision and mission process. The board walkthrough, did we just say that's just gonna be the facilities committee, and because I thought we added that one back in, but maybe we didn't. Do you remember, Gina?
I thought we said that was facilities.
Okay, that was the only piece that I didn't have good, what good notes about. I could
Sure.
not remember, so, okay.
Yep.
All right, cool. Then I'm
Yeah,
fine
we
with
said
it.
it was the charge of the facilities committee.
Ready,
So I just need a motion to accept.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Any more discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? So moved. Board retreat date. We have it. What's the date?
Tuesday, the 24th.
5:30, right?
Yes, yes.
We're moving times around a lot, 5:36.
I know, it's hard to keep track. Just,
6:15 people, and it's fine, I don't care, it's just, what is it?
yeah, yeah,
When do I gotta be where?
exactly. Yeah, 5:30 that evening with the goal of obviously completing our work before 9, right?
Yeah.
Which I think we
Yeah.
can, yeah. And certainly the Winchester meeting at the time was requested by the Winchester board. So that's why it's at 5, but we'll be at A1 Pizza in Winchester. There will be food. Maria is all over that. She's not making it. Don't get me wrong, but
Good, yeah. She's got enough to do.
she's working on having food prepared for us. We're not gonna be ordering off the menu. It'll just be a prefix that'll be brought to us.
They're closed, but it's gonna be open to the public, because it has to be, right?
correct.
Not for them to eat, but them to
Correct, for
watch.
them to sit and watch us do our work. Yes.
Good.
And if we have a meeting at 4:30 for personnel.
Right.
There, so that we don't have to travel.
Yeah.
Upon the end of that.
Do I have that? Fourth turn.
So I think we had sent out a preliminary agenda for the last one that we had to postpone. I'm just make a note, Maria, can we resend that?
Yes.
We'll find that out, change the date, we can resend that, I think.
The retreat.
Feel good. Thank you.
Board nomination summary.
Yeah.
So this is for,
I don't know what that is.
she's going to business education.
Yes. Yeah, I know what that one is, but
Oh, okay.
Honestly,
Cause I was
I
like,
don't think we were
I don't
supposed to
think I
get
know
this,
what
this
that
little
is.
chart
I
thing
know,
in here.
so this
I
one
don't
is
know
what we're
that
looking at,
Yeah.
these two.
Yeah, yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
all right, thank you.
I just chalked it up and I don't know what that is, it's not for us.
Yeah. I'm trying like, what does this?
That's an oopsie.
so Mr. O'Neill, as you know, started off with us as a long-term sub while he worked on a statement of eligibility. We're excited to see that he had earned it and is now working on his alt four plan. I believe we had notified the board on the day that he did receive his statement of eligibility. Maria had sent that out. And we just wanted to provide for you the nomination, even though it's already been approved, as well as his resume, which is what we had talked about back in the September meeting of changing them, instead of sending the board nom form to you that had other identifying info. Keep it simple, who it is, what position, the amount, and then the resume.
I saw the comment.
Of course.
This is just as much almost, well, it doesn't have who interviewed, which was bad to have in a public packet,
Sure.
or a nomination form. But I'm a little uncomfortable with this. I've seen how other boards have done it, and I don't know that other boards give this much information in the public packet. Just with, I mean, obviously this is not his current address, but
Right.
with the threats board members got last year and different other things like that, and we took our own, Wayne took our own addresses off the websites because we've gotten threatened. I just really don't feel comfortable with teachers' addresses and resumes and things being in the public packet. I mean, I just want to be on the record that I don't think we need to broadcast their private information or even their address. People can look it up if they want, but I don't think we should, because anybody can request the public board packet. And with, like I said, we had some pretty serious threats against us, so.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we'll do whatever the board's wishes are. They could also 91A our employees' resumes if they so wished, because those are public documents if they're included in the board packet. So if you don't want them in the packet,
Yeah, if it's in the board.
we
public
can,
packet,
we'd be
that's what
happy to
makes me
leave them out.
nervous. Yeah, it makes me nervous, the public packet.
Sure.
Yeah, I don't know, that's just, I'm touchy about it.
Well, I think you've had experiences where you're rightfully so
Yeah.
to be touchy about it. So I
Actually, it
respect
was
that.
2 years of threats. I want to go on the record, it was 2 years of threats, not just the one.
I'm
So,
sorry
yeah.
about that.
Oh, yeah, so. Yeah, so I don't know what you guys think. That's just my, like, we always used to do it in non-public. I understand your thoughts about doing it in public. I think bigger boards do it in public, bigger districts. I've looked at a lot of minutes and things just in my new role, and also just even before. And
Yeah.
a lot of the smaller boards don't tend to. What did Monadnock do? Do you remember, Jane?
I did it in non-public.
Yeah, and that's how like Chesterfield and
Milford
do
does
it
it in
and-
public.
yeah, but are you
Bigger.
Yeah, not you, them, jeez.
Much
They're
bigger,
not
yeah.
you.
Yeah,
Just
not
call them
included
them.
anymore.
Yeah.
Are they bigger?
She's SAU 92.
Exactly,
Yeah.
right, yes,
Right.
they're bigger, yeah, so I don't know, maybe that's just.
So providing the, just so I understand, providing the nomination, this part of it in non-public,
Like,
then we come out of non,
non.
yeah, okay, and then we come out of non-public to accept it.
Sure.
Well, we used to, I mean, I've seen other boards vote non-public and then just say in public, this is the action they took in non-public. You don't have to come out and vote, or Jane should agree, right? Yeah, you don't have to vote in public, you just say, we've done this, this is what we did in non-public.
Right.
Yeah, but you do the actual vote in non-public. Okay.
We can do that. We're happy to do that.
Yeah,
Okay.
I was kind of a little like, why is this in the public?
Yeah,
Sure.
no, but it's good to look at other ways of doing things, sure, you know. Certainly.
we don't need to make a motion for that, we just decide.
You
as a board
don't
that that's
because he
how we'd
was
like to
hired
do.
with the authority already.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
But I meant as
This-
far as like putting this in non-public, that's just. gonna
No,
be a
we'll
system
make the
thing.
adjustment
Yeah.
on however you want us to report it. We'll make the adjustment we'll make it all for non-public.
Because we never made a motion to do it in public, we just.
No, yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Just making sure.
Great.
All right, well, thank you. Thanks for indulging my paranoia.
Want to do what we all agree to, it works best. I
Yeah.
want to make sure you're getting what you need.
So we're good on that? Yeah. Emergency operations plan, annual update.
This is non-public. This is always non-public. I hate to be like.
Well, it's not, yeah, you're
At least that's how we've always.
right, so your information is linked. And there's nothing in what you have that would jeopardize the safety of the EOP. It's these generic updates. The actual EOP is in Teams, if I'm not mistaken, Maria.
Yeah,
Yeah, just for the board's eyes.
which is actually a different thing than, not, whichever way we want to do it, but just all the time we've been using Teams. Only the chairs ever had access to it. I don't care if the whole board access. I was just surprised when we all got the link to it, like, oh my gosh, we all have it. So I don't know why that was, there was only one person, but
Yeah, I don't know why only the chair would have had
yeah,
access to it,
yeah,
but I think it was 359 pages. Was that the last count?
it's big.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we didn't want to print it for you.
Oh, gosh, no. Not at all. No, but yeah, so, yeah, it's big. No, but it makes sense, because if this is all we're getting, we would have to have access to it to look at what's going on with changes, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, before, I think we would just print out the change, you know, what I mean, the changes. Before, but.
All right.
I know you're like.
That's one.
"Wow."
That's one.
Oh, good.
So any questions on the changes or anything?
Do we need to approve them?
No.
I don't think so.
FYI, it's information.
All right. NHSBA 2023 proposed resolution and proposed bylaw. Yeah, I mean, we've already agreed that you're gonna be our voting.
Yeah, I'm
Delegate,
already your
right?
delegate. So
Yeah.
what this is at the meeting on Saturday, we'll be voting on these resolutions, and basically you guys have to tell me how to vote
Right.
as your delegates, so, you don't have to vote on continuing resolutions, those aren't included here, those are 1 through 7, and those are ones that have been accepted. At the last, approved at the last 2 delegate assemblies, they have to be approved 3 years in a row, and then they become part of our statement of belief. Statements of belief. So what we need to do is take a vote on resolutions, I think it's like 8, like
There's a bunch.
19 or something, I've seen, because I've already been through this process on the NHSBA board. 8 through 19. 8 through
Yeah.
19. So what we could do, there's 2 options, and I hope we go with the second option. We could go through everyone, and you tell me how to vote one at a time, and then, of course, if anybody has any questions, or you have anything you feel strongly, whatever. Or, and this is how we've done it in the past, for the sake of time, if you don't have anything you feel strongly about. Or if you agree with the board of directors proposed, recommendation, or not proposed, the board of directors recommendation. So for each one, the board of directors, you know, at one of our board of director meeting, we went through all these and discussed them. And said we support the resolution, or we don't support, or we support alternate language. So if you agree with everything the board of directors recommends, you can make a motion to direct me to, you can make a motion to adopt or accept the, approve, whichever it is, yeah, the board of directors recommendations on resolutions 1 through 19. Otherwise, you would go through one at a time, and like, say the first one's, you can't make a motion to say, I make a motion not to accept, you know, it would be a motion to accept resolution 8. And then if you agree with the board of directors saying they don't support it, you'd have to vote. You know what I mean? Yeah. Which is confusing. And, you know, like 11 times or whatever it is. So it's up to you guys, if you don't have any feelings or questions, but I can also answer questions about anything, because we have talked these to death.
When I went through them, I agreed with the board of directors
Yeah.
recommendations, so, and the alternate language stuff that they had also
Okay.
suggested,
I'm
so
fine with that.
I'm good with doing them as a group.
All right, awesome. So we just need the motion to accept the board of directors recommendation. Motion to accept the board of directors recommendations and to have Polly vote on that. All right, I can second that. Yeah.
All those in favor?
I,
Aye. Any opposed?
a couple
So-
people that I just. Yeah, and then the proposed bylaw changes, we would just, you know, make a motion to accept the proposed bylaw changes and then vote it up, you know, if it passes or not. So if you have any questions about them, there's just 3 bylaw changes. One is the dues. We have not, or I'm saying here saying we, so NHSBA, which is me and my other role, have not raised dues since 2008. So, and you'll see the rationale, we've been dipping into savings, you know, more and more to cover budget because we haven't raised dues. And the structure, like the formula, is based on your expenditures, every year. So how it used to work way back was, that's, you know, back, I guess, maybe 2008, was the last time that our governmental affairs guy would go, and after the district meeting, either contact the DOE or call districts to get their MS-27 numbers and then do the formula based on that. So that was really time consuming. So if we go back to that, most boards will see like a 20% jump in fees, not fees, dues. So they're proposing to keep it the same for this year, and then next year, there will be another, how do you say it here?
10%.
What won't be any more than 10%. So the formula is gonna change, but you'll never be. And right now, and I asked Jane today, so right now we pay $4,013.52, 25.52, something like that. And that's for policy services, trainings, legal advice, like if it's something quick that, you know, we don't wanna be charged $300 for Matt to answer, there's something, whatever, usually policy related or what, I just, a quick question to Will. And then the sample policy, which is huge, the sample policy service, so $4,000, and if it goes up 10%, $4,400 is a steal, I think. I mean, I'm not just saying that because I'm the president of the board, but it is, we do get a lot from it, so. And then the other one, the second one is just like with all boards, as we all know, it's getting harder and harder to find people to serve, so we just wanna up the term of the officers from 1 year to 2 years. And the other one is this is for the delegate assembly, to not use Robert's rules, no, sorry, not the delegate assembly, it's for the board of directors. I should.
Yeah,
because I
so board of
suppose, yeah,
directors
thank you.
and
Yeah, because it's a smaller board, and rather than using Robert's rules, which, yeah, I don't know, I think these are pretty benign changes, so. Any questions on that?
No, can we accept these as a group?
Yep.
Do we have to do them
No,
individually?
yeah, you can do, to accept the, proposed, approve the, accept the proposed bylaw changes, or, you know.
Make the motion to accept the proposed bylaws changes.
I'll second that.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? So moved.
Great, thank you, guys, and so I have that, and I'll report back on the delegate assembly.
Do we need to, we said we said that you were a delegate. Did we give you permission? Do we have to vote on giving you permission of any changes that are done on the floor?
Oh, thank you, I missed the part, yes, well, you don't even need to take a vote, you could, but yeah, if there's amendments and whatnot.
Yeah, I
Just,
remember reading it.
yeah,
so-
allow it, thank you, I wanted to add that, thank you for reminding me of that, or thank you for doing it. Not reminding me. But, yes, because sometimes there are amendments, and then some of the delegates will be like, well, my board said I could vote this on this proposal. So, and I would vote like, you trust me to, if it makes
Yeah,
sense, like, if it's such a crazy amendment or something,
Yeah,
you
yeah.
would trust me to be like,
I know.
yeah, awesome, thank you.
Okay, so we don't need to vote on that specifically.
think so.
Okay, we can
Yeah,
just
so
basically
just
say out loud.
Clarifying the town.
Yeah.
Probably has the power. Thank you,
Alright.
and I'm gonna be running the meeting too. So it's gonna be a fun
It's gonna be
Saturday
fun.
morning, yes. But Matt Upton is our parliamentarian, so.
Oh, that'd at least be fun.
Yeah, last year was Joe O'Shaughnessy, who was great too, but he, you know, Matt is Matt, he's on Matt. So,
All right, so anything else with that? We're good?
no, thank you guys.
All right, moving on, superintendent search committee. So we had our meeting. Holly, did you want to talk about it? I know you're chair, you're the main rep.
We have another meeting on the 23rd at 4:30. Yeah, we're just looking further at what we did last year and making sure our competencies we picked that are important to us still align with all the changes, and
We need to make the recommendation from the,
is that
to the board.
public or a non?
I'd recommend non-public,
Yeah.
Right,
only because there may be discussion regarding past personnel
right,
Mhm.
that may come up, and it'd be better if we safeguard against that.
okay,
Yeah.
perfect. Anything else that I need to cut off?
No, that's okay. I don't think so,
Okay,
unless you're remembering something.
no, I'm not. MAU for the resource officer. MOU,
We'll move
sorry.
you for the
What did I say?
SRO.
Sorry. Is this the final one?
This
The
is the
chief?
final one that Chief provided some numbers, which was helpful. He's ready to have the select board chair sign it from his end. I wanted to present it back to our board to have another opportunity to review it. There are one or two strike throughs in here that I would clean up prior to send it back to the chief. It is ready to go. This is based on the National Association of School Resource Officers and its compliance with New Hampshire state law, and that's also what chief audited it for, was to ensure that it was in compliance with New Hampshire state law for school resource officers in our schools.
Do we already have like the safe locker?
Well, I have a question about that I wanted to address in non-public, because we had a huge discussion twice about this in the last 10 years.
That's what I thought, and so
Yeah,
I
just about that
had put a
piece.
comment of we need to
But-
discuss this.
Yeah, we've had a big discussion
Okay.
on previous boards about that.
Mm-hmm.
Have we seen, when you said, strike throughs, have we seen this in any version before? This is the first time we're getting this, right?
This is
You sent it just to me.
a revision.
So you sent it to me and then I skimmed it, but
Yeah, this was a revision of the one that you had provided for me from
From the
2011.
2011. where everybody was gone but me, who signed it.
yeah.
Yes, and Chief Faulkner was on it and it was.
Yeah,
That is not.
and so, previous, school district where our chief of security was the retired, chief of police for that town. He had developed the MOU based on NASRO's recommendation, the template that they provided for New Hampshire. And so I used that as another exemplar to create this.
This is much better format and everything than that other one.
It's because it's been updated.
Yeah, it's just this much, but I have some questions. I don't know if we're gonna talk about it in that public or just that one piece, but. Yeah, we should at least have that one discussion. But I don't know if any of the other stuff is, I don't think, about money and a few other things.
If we're going to talk about the salary, that is what's budgeted and should be publicly discussed, but it may be best if we hold that for non-public regarding compensation. I mean, we fall under 91A33A.
Okay.
So if you want to save the MOU for non-public, we can certainly do that.
Yeah. Thank you.
Perfect.
Is there any other business?
Nope.
Madam Chair, before we go to community reports, would we have permission to allow our school staff to head home, or would you like them to remain for questions during the report?
I'm okay with employing this, anybody needs some training, but committees.
I'm not, well, half the policy committee will leave. So, if you want, I can send the email out later to schedule, or if you want to schedule a policy, because John and Joe, or the other half, me and you, John and Joe.
That's right.
So, to schedule, but do we have a and I missed September's meeting, so maybe we had a discussion and I missed it when I started to listen to it, and admittedly, I didn't get all of the meeting, but excusing people from the meeting with good reports and answering questions and stuff, did we discuss that as a board, or was that like a just?
That's why I asked.
Okay, so last month it was asked to the board and they said, okay,
Yes.
okay. I don't know.
Yeah, that's why I asked, and there's no motion for it. There's no change in the rules. It's me asking the board if they would permit them to head home so that they could go to bed and wake up tomorrow morning and come take care of our kids. That's all.
So like we can talk. Anyway, no, I just would like to schedule a policy committee meeting then, if half the committee would not be here.
Yeah, whatever the board would like.
I mean, if that's okay with the board, that's my only piece was like, well. That's my only thing.
I don't have anything in my committees that. I don't have anything.
I don't need to, I would need them for, so.
That was my.
You want to
only-
just move the policy committee up to the beginning and we can take care of that?
Yeah.
Super. That'd be great. Thank you.
Thank you. I mean, yeah, if we want to get it scheduled, because we wanted to do the dress code. So we should probably get rolling on that,
Mm,
and figure out how we want to do that, so it'd be like good to have a policy committee meeting at some point, And then, we haven't updated, we haven't done some policies in a while, we've kind of put it on the back burner.
Yeah.
So, we have like the new updates to the laws, the NHSBA. And I had been going through, because I noticed when we went from having a big PDF document that would get updated, you know, as we, to SharePoint, some policies are missing. So I was bored one Saturday night, I was home alone, and I made up a spreadsheet and cross-referenced it all, and then I put it all by what's required by law, what policies were missing that are no longer on SharePoint. So I would just want to give that to policy committee and we can figure out how we want forward with that. So
Perfect.
we just have a couple of items that, you know, kind of policy, because policy is the board's main function. So we're going to get back into the swing of it. We haven't done it in a
Sorry,
while.
policy just trumped finance.
But policy, I think that's the main function. I mean, we have a couple functions, but that's one, right?
100%.
I mean, I think it's like barely second finance.
One A, one A.
Yeah.
Pretty.
So, October's pretty full. What's good for you? Like, I don't even know what days you work.
Can we look at 7th or 8th? I'll be in November 7 and November 8,
Oh, okay, yeah, that's good.
if that works for you gentlemen principals.
It's one of those days, parent teacher conference.
I think the eighth. When that's the Wednesday.
It is.
Yeah, it's a board meeting night too, so. I'm good with either of those, so whatever's best for you guys.
Seventh would probably be better.
What time?
Yeah.
What time
I
works
can
for you,
do
Molly?
4:30. Is that good?
I have it.
4:30? Yeah. Perfect.
It is election day, yeah. Just.
We electing anybody on that day?
No
It's
problem.
an off year, so maybe local.
Local stuff, but not, I don't think here.
No, gubernatorial is not for another year.
I just
Falls
have
in
it
line
right.
with the
This is
general.
election day, so.
You know, it's like Jake Connors running for mayor in Keene, I imagine, is
Mhm.
that on that day?
That's probably that day.
Because I see the sign in the place on his paper. So that doesn't involve
What was the time again? Sorry.
4:30.
4:30.
Yeah. Awesome. Yeah, and then we can talk about, like you said, the dress code is the main biggie that we wanted to tackle this fall.
Were we having a student help us with that, like you did with the electronic use?
We had Connor, because he was really into it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he was a very active member of the policy committee. So, yeah, I mean, we could have Addison or whomever, you know, I would leave that up to
I'll be
John.
willing to go.
Hmm?
I'll be willing to go.
All right, awesome.
Yeah, well, actually, Addison's gonna get invited. We haven't had a
Oh,
student
the
council
leadership.
meeting yet.
Oh,
So, but I talked to the advisor just to make sure when they have their first meeting, which should be coming up, that Addison be a part of that when he can, because that's what we do with Connor.
exactly.
He, as a drop, and he wasn't an elected officer, but he's elected here.
Yeah.
So,
Awesome.
yep.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah, and I know we discussed about having student input on the dress code, so. But that looks like.
my understanding is the last time it was reviewed, there was
Quite a few students.
student input, so
Yeah.
it helps, just like with the cell phone policy.
Right,
It's not as your peers
yeah.
were a part of this, so.
Yeah, and I don't remember what year it was, but I know one of the students I'm thinking of was on that group, she just graduated from college, so it's been
It's
at
been-
least 5 years
Yeah.
or more, yeah.
Yep.
Awesome, that's exciting.
Awesome.
All right, great.
Now we can let them go.
I don't have anything else. Thanks.
Thank you.
Thank
We
you.
appreciate that.
Thanks, have a
You
good night.
this day.
I was
Also,
gonna
Yeah,
try
Jane
to
has
raise
something.
myself
Oh,
up,
Jane
but I
doesn't get
knew
to-
he'd be pulling. me.
Hey, it doesn't get.
Here for the long haul.
Yep.
Actually, it's
Justin, will you turn Joe's microphone up there? Please? Thanks.
Mhm.
Bye, Joe. Oh, Perfect.
yeah, so no grief.
Awesome. Thank you, John.
Thanks,
Bye,
guys.
Justin. Thank you, guys.
All right, so going down the list, we have behavioral support team.
Nothing new. We have a meeting in November. We only meet quarterly now.
All right, so budget committee, I know they're waiting on us for our year end of year. To set up their next meeting, and then are we gonna? Our budget process for this year? I'm trying to remember when we usually have something tentative for our first read through of it. Do you remember? At least by,
It's not till no.
I don't think so.
I think they're November.
when do we usually have it to the budget committee?
Usually, I could go back and look at my thing, but it's usually right around Thanksgiving. We,
That's what I
we
thought.
get them right after Thanksgiving, right before Thanksgiving. And maybe we've had one or maybe we've had a work session and at a board meeting, but I'd have to go back and look at my calendar, but
Yeah.
almost positive they get it around Thanksgiving.
Right, that's what my thought process was. but I couldn't-
Yeah, because I remember a lot of times they say, well, we have the holiday. You know, type thing, which was, yeah.
It says Thanksgiving, like your first draft.
And we're October, so we. Time. Soon? I would guess. We have
On my
some
list.
input? Great, perfect.
It'll look a little different this
Yeah.
year, but.
Great, I'm looking forward to going. Community connections, posting.
So was this thing you posted today or like, was it sent to the Community Connections email address or just to you? Because I didn't see to you.
The thing for the
For
the
you posted,
forum.
yeah,
I just got it in my email today. I don't know where. it came from.
was it sent to Community Connections?
Erica sent it out, I
Oh,
think,
Erica
to
did, okay.
to parents.
Yep.
So I got it.
Okay, so
From
so
there.
it didn't go to Community Connections, okay,
Yeah,
okay, so,
yeah, because this is what I got it from Erica.
yeah.
So I just copied and, I mean, I screenshotted it. posted
Yeah,
it,
so because I'm not getting.
And got it
those
everywhere.
as Community Connections, but that's fine, I mean, if you're getting it there,
I just got it as a
Right.
parent, I think.
Yeah.
That's where I got it.
I just wasn't sure.
Then I posted it on all the groups and
Yeah.
stuff, so to get it out to everybody.
Yeah. Okay.
Facilities, we're meeting in November, so there's nothing new there. We met last month.
Is that quarterly too?
Yeah.
Okay.
Legislation.
Yeah, I don't really, I've been so busy with the
I
delegate
took
assembly.
the course,
But
I took the course, was it Monday or
Oh,
Tuesday?
Yeah,
About the
changes,
changes,
yeah, I have,
policies and whatnot,
I
so I've
can't
got a
do
bunch of notes.
I can't do them during the day anymore because of work, because of my new job, so I just watch them, plan to watch them
Yeah.
later, I haven't yet. But cool, awesome, thank you.
And you guys are gonna be pretty much going through the policy committee, so.
Yeah,
That stuff. Personnel,
so did you get my email?
I did get
Today, yeah, so I'm gonna have to step off of personnel, so unfortunately, and I apologize how that's gonna be for negotiations, but, she really can't appoint somebody until we have everybody here.
the question came up, do we need to also, right?
We've always had to.
Yeah.
I don't think it would be right to just have one, but I'm stepping off, so I probably don't get a say in that. I'm creating the problem, so
Yeah,
I
I think
probably don't get to say in this.
The board can help brainstorm it. We'd probably like the input of Kendra and Kayla.
Yeah,
right? So
so we'll just put that out until,
next
go
meeting.
forward as is until we can all be together.
Yeah.
To discuss it. Kendra's not here, so I don't know anything about selectmen,
I heard that we didn't have a rep
nothing.
since the last, since our last meeting.
Alright, I'm going to. Well, again, I'll need to be all of us here to discuss it, so. So we'll put that off until we're all together. Staff development is Kayla and Kendra, so I'm guessing nobody knows what's going on there. Superintendent search committee, we basically just went over it, so I don't think there's anything extra for that. Look at us plow right through
Same thing with this next one.
tuition, yeah. Wellness, how did your
Yeah,
wellness day go?
you had like a fair or something, right? How long ago
That
was
was the
that? I
last-
did not have.
Well, the committee. I'm assuming the committee had a fair,
Mail,
sorry,
Thank you.
yeah.
sorry,
I don't. know.
Seems like
Okay.
a long time
Because
ago at
we
this point.
haven't had a meeting.
right,
April or something.
yeah.
So I don't.
And the fair still happened even though you're.
No, yeah, because there was a subcommittee
Oh,
that did the fair.
oh,
Okay.
cool.
All right.
I saw a post on Facebook, remember the parents.
That's an HR.
Who sets up the wellness meetings? Like who's in charge of them?
Sarah here is the chair, and as someone talked to her, she was talking to the most, elementary school. I think she might be the vice chair of the secretary or something.
So hope they have a meeting soon.
Oh, thanks.
All right. That brings us back to citizen comments. We still don't have any in-house. So anybody online have anything?
Alex, do you have any comments?
I think my only comment or question, which I think I brought it up with April a little while back. Just curious when you guys are planning on having your first budget meeting. I know you may have talked about it and I may have missed it. So I'm just trying to figure out an idea of a date so I can kind of put something in my calendar as well to make sure I'm there for that one.
Yeah, did discuss it a little bit. So hopefully sometime within 2 or 3 weeks, I think, is the plan to try to have a meeting. Well, nothing's set because we're waiting for things to be for Jane to get caught up, basically.
That would be long.
And all the work she's got. So as soon as she has the numbers and stuff, then Alex, I'll definitely reach out to you and let you know.
Okay. Yeah, because I think I missed the first of the first two, I think, last year. So definitely
Yeah,
want to try
right.
to get
Yeah,
there.
because you weren't elected yet, so.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, you're right, yeah. So I'll definitely let you know when we have a date.
Okay, I think that's all I have for now.
Thank you. Donna, do you have any comments?
No, I'm all set. Thank you.
Yeah, I found this to identify this.
And iPhone, Renee Howard mentioned that. No comments. Okay. All right, thank you, guys.
Oh, I'm sorry. I
Oh,
apologize.
sorry.
Actually, the comment was, wanting to see. Peter's input on this.
Perfect. That's the plan.
Perfect.
Great. So there's no other citizen comments. We're going into any motion going to non-public or roll call.
I'll make the motion.
Second.